Morning, folks. I'm Dave Canterbury with Self-Reliance Outfitters in the Pathfinder School. And out here at the Pathfinder School in Southeast Ohio, we teach lots and lots of classes from basic, intermediate, advanced survival to wilderness first aid, medicinal plants, ropes and rigging, advanced navigation or intensive navigation, and lots of other classes you can choose from on our website under the training tab at selfrelianceoutfitters.com. I look forward to seeing you in 2025. Now, to today's video. I'm still kind of packing and sorting things for my trip to Florida, and I'm leaving in just a few days for that overland trip there and back. And we're gonna do a lot of filming while we're out and about on the way down and while we're at HangCon in 2025 here down in Brookville, Florida. But what I wanted to do today was, I'm getting ready to ship something back to a buddy of mine tomorrow at the post office that he loaned me to do a video on. I have yet to have done a video on it. So I thought while it was in my truck, and I'm sorting through things, I'd go ahead and shoot a quick video on it for you guys to kind of show it to you, because I think it's a piece of historical gear that is worth at least seeing because it was very innovative for its time period. And that piece of gear is called the Preston Mess Kit. And this is an Abercrombie & Fitch cover for the Preston Mess Kit. And this came from a buddy of mine named Sean Dyer, Honorable Outfitters on YouTube. I would definitely check out his channel. He's got some fantastic content, especially if you're into that classic and period camping era from 1890 to the 1930s. Now, the way this thing's set up is it obviously has a string here that's been replaced that threads itself around almost like a pair of boots to hold this cover shut. So we'll undo that real quick. And again, very much just like a pair of boots, right? And when you open this thing up, you basically have a kit inside that contains a couple items with a canteen. And that was kind of the innovation of this kit for its time. So once we get this opened up, we can pull the kit out of the sleeve and set it aside. Now you have what was called the Preston Mess Kit, okay? And the way this works is it had two clamshells, and these are made out of aluminum, and it had a cup on the bottom that's also made out of aluminum. Now this one has a repair on the bottom of the canteen. It's a tin canteen with a cork stopper. It comes with a cup that has a folding handle in it. And it had a dial on it right here at the top so that you could put that handle in place just like this, and then turn the dial so it stayed. And you had a canteen cup or a pot that you could boil over the fire and things like that. And then you just turn that dial back sideways again, and it would release that handle and let it fold back down into a recess in the bottom of the cup. There's a little recess along the side, and it just lays flat in the bottom of the cup once you've got that dial turned the right direction, okay? Now, you also had a plate that you could eat off of, or a cover for the other side of this pan, just like this. So you almost had like a Dutch oven look to it, okay? And the way this is set up is it has a handle that locks in place by a moving pin right here, okay? So you've got a pin that you slide this handle up, you slide the pin sideways, and now you have an aluminum skillet, and you also had a lid for that skillet that doubled as a plate or a lid, depending on how you were cooking, okay? And all of that nested into one small package. So it was very innovative for its time, because this is really predates a lot of those nesting mess kits and cook sets that were out there at the time. And so when you were done, you would just put the canteen back in. Both of the side plates would fold over the top, just like this. And you would put this back into its carrying sleeve. So it's a very innovative piece of gear for its time. Again, it's all aluminum, so it's not ideal, and it's a very thin gauge aluminum. Something like this in stainless steel might be more worthwhile. But I will tell you that they're also very rare. I've only seen a couple of these in real life. One of them is owned by my buddy Cole Cracker at Cole Cracker Bushcraft, Dan Wowak. One of them is owned by Sean Dyer, and I think he just bought another one somewhere. So they're very, very rare and hard to find. And when you do find them, they're very expensive. But for historical value, for reverse engineering value, for a look at the way things were put together and utilized back then, and the way you could develop something now, it's very much a worthwhile kit to take a look at. And all of that would go into a shoulder carry situation. And this one has inside a knife, a fork, and a spoon. I doubt these are the originals to this set, but they had sleeves in here that those would slide into. So you had a sleeve in the back that was kind of angled that you could put your utensils into, just like that. And you had a sleeve on the side as well that you could put something into, like a knife or something like that if you wanted to. And all of that would go into the pouch together. I would probably turn that backwards so it nests better in there, just like that. And then all of that would go back in the pouch. And once you had all that stuff tucked in, you had a complete cook set all in one carryable package that had everything from a skillet to an eating plate to a cup or a pot to a canteen. And you could access the canteen on the trail while you were on the move if you wanted to, which made it a very, very innovative cook set for its time. Now, there are other cook sets we can talk about that I have as well. The Up and Stopple Mess Kit or Scout Kit was also a very well thought out kit, but again, a little bit fragile in my opinion for what we do today. But however, you know, I think this is a good system and I wanted you guys to see it today. This is a very nice case that he's got with this one. Again, I think this is an Abercrombie and Fitch case, so they're probably even harder to find than the actual mess kit itself, but it's all self-contained. It's really nice. It had a nice leather front on it here where you could clip this thing to other gear, especially during the World War I time frame when this thing was fairly popular. It's got a couple of holes here in the bottom of the leather. I would say those are for leather thongs or straps so that you could tie it to something if you wanted to, clip it here and tie it here. But it's a very, very nice system and I wanted you guys to see it. I'll put some schematic drawings of it in this video as well during the video so you can see those. But the Preston Mess Kit is definitely a piece of heritage that everyone should at least hold in their hand or be able to see one time in their life, even if you can never own one. All right, guys, listen, I appreciate you joining me for this quick video today on the Preston Mess Kit. I'm positive that you guys will enjoy this video and enjoy this piece of history, looking at it and how it worked and how it was put together. If you're anything like me and you're kind of an old-time, old vintage gear geek and you want to see that engineering of the past and kind of bring that stuff forward like we do in all of our Pathfinder gear, this is how I start, by looking at these historical pieces and figuring out what might work better today or how I can improve on something with modern materials and bring it to the future. Because if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? There's lots of good designs out there. Our whole nesting cook system is designed after the nesting cook sets that started at Abercrombie and Fitch and places like that and went on to the Boy Scouts of America. Our entire system is built on that with our nesting cook sets. So this is just another piece that I'm looking at right now and how I can adapt this to something new. I wouldn't do this exact kit. I'd make changes to things to suit my fancy and to make it what I think would be a little bit better or more conducive to woodsman's use today. But something like this would be awesome to have as well. I appreciate your views. I appreciate your support. I thank you for everything you do for our school, for our family, and for our business. For all of our sponsors, instructors, affiliates, and friends, and I'll be back with another video as soon as I can, guys. Thanks.